Hi guys, I'm Debbie O'Leary.
And I'm Gregorian.
And this is The Guy Show.
Debbie, just that performance in Twickenham, that was just devastating.
Absolute nightmare. We should have won and we didn't. I think everybody's just drawn a line under it and said, okay, let's focus towards the next game. What's done is done. But no one's really got to the root cause of the problem.
You mentioned though that we should have won. Are you just basing that on these first two home games that we had, against what was on the day mediocre opposition?
Well, I suppose, the rest of the teams have shown that as they progress, they're getting better. So I would have thought, regardless of it being an away game, we should have been there on the day. We should have absolutely annihilated them, and we didn't. We just didn't perform on the day.
Was that the Twickenham factor? Everyone goes on about this kind of Twickenham factor that it gives 10%.
The Irish team, they're so established. These are players that have played for Ireland for years. We can't just blame it on the fact that they played in Twickenham. I think that's just being complacent. It's easy to blame it on the fact that it was an away game. I think we need to dig deeper and get to the root cause of the problem. In each of the two previous games, we were there on physicality, we dominated in the scrum, we were more superior in the line out, we had the rolling maul. England, they matched us on all of it.
We beat Wales and Scotland by perfecting the set piece.
It's true.
But it didn't happen there. We perfected the set piece against England, but it didn't produce the result.
They slowed down our ball completely. They just put us out of our comfort zone and we just couldn't get back into it.
I suppose the most disappointing aspect was perhaps Johnny Sexton's performance, actually the halfback performance overall with Conor Murray included. Of course, we're always going to go back to the first two games and how well they played. And here we were thinking, here's Sexton once again rejuvenated after his troubles in France and all that, but he was lost there at Twickenham.
Yeah, his kicks were short, and they seem to be playing a kicking game. Just getting rid of the ball where they should have been maybe holding on to the ball. And we must look at Sexton. Why did he have such a good partnership with O'Mahony and with Conor Murray in the previous games? And how suddenly did he lose that?
We're kind of fortunate, with no disrespect to them, that it's Italy that we're playing.
Absolutely. We have to win against Italy. I mean, there is no reason why we should lose. Having said that, Schmidt did say that he might rest a few of his players. He's thinking of resting Sexton, he's thinking of resting O'Mahony. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that maybe we need the players to fight for their positions, especially going into the France game. They need to be fighting fit. We don't want any injuries. In the last 3 games for Munster, he scored 4 tries. Why is that not being taken on board? I think, even for Italy, if Schmidt is thinking of changing up the team, if he's thinking of resting players, why not bring the likes of Zebo into the squad, who is impeccable on line breaks? He's so quick-footed. He might just give the team what they need going into the France match.
He's not even in the squad. He wasn't even in there on the bench to throw on for a little bit of spark, and it was evident towards the end of the game how drained they were and looking for a little bit of inspiration.
And I think, he definitely needs to work on his defensive strategy, because as we know, Carney and Trimble are far more effective defensively. Having said that, they're not try scorers. Zebo is. There were glimpses of the vintage O'Driscoll that we know and love. He made so many great tackles. I think he made more tackles than most of the players on the field. He is so good defensively. Maybe he's not as quick-footed as he used to be, but I think we need him on the pitch.
We're top of the table. We're double points difference of England. We've also got 3 other teams also on 4 points. But without a shadow of a doubt, we have the toughest of the final games in round 5. France, away, which we never seem to do well in.
That's true, but having said that, I think France are lacking imagination in their set plays. I don't think they've really brought it this year, and I think everyone predicted that after a Lions tour, France are going to be on top, but they haven't been. So it could come down to points difference on the last day. I think if Ireland keep their momentum, if they keep their points difference as high as it's been, I think we could be a shoo-in to win the title.
I think you're absolutely right. We're going into a game against Italy where there is momentum to be had. We then go to Paris a week later, which is not the fortress it used to be. France are in no great shape. And I think if we can get up front with them early on, we can take it home.
And we must remember that they're missing 2 of their key players as well.
Exactly.
So I'm feeling very positive. I think we could win the title. I think we will win the title. And fingers crossed, I think the next time we're sitting here, we will have won the title. So let us know your comments. Thanks for watching. I'm Debbie.
I'm Oisín.
And this is The Guy Show.